The arrest of Jeffrey Epstein's former girlfriend, Ghislaine Maxwell, has generated a huge amount of interest in the past week. She's facing charges over her alleged role in Epstein's abuse of minors. Ross Atkins has more.
Here's a story of a woman born into wealth, whose father was a controversial newspaper tycoon who drowned after falling from his yacht, whose life was full of friends in high places, but who faces this allegation.
She was a central part of the Epstein sex trafficking operation. She played an important role in recruiting, grooming, manipulating.
And is now facing US justice.
Ghislaine Maxwell finally stands charged for her role in these crimes.
So what questions remain for Ghislaine Maxwell? Go back 18 months, Ghislaine Maxwell was far from a household name. Now she's one of the most popular news searchers in the world, and there are many questions being asked, from how to say her name to more important ones about how she fits into Epstein's story. Let's work through them. First, the 1990s. Ghislaine Maxwell's living in New York. She meets Jeffrey Epstein, works for him, has a relationship with him, and is his best friend, according to Epstein in this Vanity Fair profile. She's accused of another role too.
Maxwell's presence as an adult woman helped put the victims at ease. As Maxwell and Epstein intended, this grooming process left the minor victims susceptible to sexual abuse.
Ghislaine controlled the girls. She was like the madam. She was like the nuts and bolts of the sex trafficking operation.
Ghislaine Maxwell denies this, but some of the charges she faces relate to the mid-90s. She'll be asked about this period and about Prince Andrew. We know Prince Andrew would socialise with Ghislaine Maxwell and Epstein in New York, once on Epstein's island in the Caribbean, and in London too. This is Andrew, Ghislaine Maxwell, and a 17-year-old named Virginia Roberts Jeffrey in 2001. She says she was trafficked by Ghislaine Maxwell to have sex with the prince.
It was a wicked time in my life. It was a really scary time in my life. I had just been abused by a member of a royal family.
Ghislaine Maxwell denies this. So did Prince Andrew in his infamous BBC Newsnight interview.
I have no recollection of ever meeting this lady. None whatsoever.
You don't remember meeting her?
No.
She says she met you in 2001. She dined with you. She danced with you. You bought her drinks. You were in Tramp nightclub in London. And she went on to have sex with you in a house in Belgravia belonging to Ghislaine Maxwell.
Didn't happen.
And there was this too.
He's dead. His girlfriend, Ghislaine Maxwell, your old friend,
Yep.
was, victims say, complicit in his behaviour.
Well, that bit I can't help you with because I've no idea.
So Prince Andrew can't help on that, but might Ghislaine Maxwell be willing to talk about him? This is her friend, Laura Goldman.
She's always told me that she would never, ever say anything about him. You know, I think she felt that he was her friend, and she was never, ever going to say anything about him.
Ghislaine Maxwell may not talk about Andrew. We'll see. But we know from Andrew himself that she was his link to Epstein, and that investigators still have questions for her and for him.
But I will say that we would welcome Prince Andrew coming in to talk with us.
So, questions about Prince Andrew, questions about the 90s. There are also questions about who helped Epstein. After years of suspect behaviour, in 2019, the authorities moved.
Today, we announce the unsealing of sex trafficking charges against Jeffrey Epstein.
Weeks later, Epstein was gone.
The body of Jeffrey Epstein is taken away from a New York hospital this evening. The multi-millionaire sex offender was found dead in his prison cell as he awaited trial for sex trafficking.
Epstein had taken his own life, but the story continued.
Any co-conspirators should not rest easy. The victims deserve justice, and they will get it.
Co-conspirators should not rest easy, and investigating the allegations against Ghislaine Maxwell was now central to understanding Epstein and the power structures that allowed him to escape justice. But she was nowhere to be seen, which leads me to one of the most frequently asked questions. Where has she been? Ghislaine Maxwell's whereabouts became a story in itself. Where is Epstein's lady of the house, asked Bloomberg. Vanity Fair channeled Where's Waldo? The Sun offered £10,000 for help with the search. There was also this photo from not long after Epstein's death. It appeared to show Ghislaine Maxwell in a burger place in LA, though the authenticity of this photo has since been questioned. After that, nothing, until an arrest at a remote property in New Hampshire, and then a statement dripping with disdain from the FBI.
We've been discreetly keeping tabs on Maxwell's whereabouts as we work this investigation, and more recently we learned she had slithered away to a gorgeous property in New Hampshire, continuing to live a life of privilege while her victims live with the trauma inflicted upon them years ago.
Well, Ghislaine Maxwell's in prison in New York now, awaiting trial. We can't know her mind, but here's her friend Laura Goldman again, pointing to what would have been a miscalculation.
You know, when Jeffrey initially died, she was relieved. She thought it was over. I don't think she understood.
It's not over, though. Not for Ghislaine Maxwell, nor the people who remember her.
I've never met someone that has been so dismissive of other human beings in my life.
We all have questions about Ghislaine Maxwell, and now the US justice system is giving her a further opportunity to answer them.